Okay, cool. By being host. Okay. Can you all hear me? Okay, cool. I know that there's a number of people that are on who cannot talk and who are probably wearing earbuds so that no one else can hear what is being said. And I respect that and I understand it. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to give you a rundown on who I am and what I'm about. Alex, what I ask for from you is that if I go too fast, if I start like going down 100,000 miles an hour, if you could tell me to slow down or take a breath or whatever, that probably would be helpful. And then if anybody sends a message, I may not always, as I said, this is my first time running a meeting in this format, a teaching in this format. I've done it in other circumstances, but this is the first time this way. So I am going to have to work it out little by little. My self-chosen name is Mystic. My given name is Tanya O'Grady. Well, it's actually, yeah, never mind. I'm an empath and I consider myself a solitary eclectic crystal witch. I've been on the esoteric and personal development path since I was 17. I've been doing electrical healings and cleanings since I was about in my early 20s, 23 or 24. I was a witch long before I identified myself as a witch. I just did the work and did spells and did intentions and did all that stuff without realizing, oh, I'm a witch. And then I came out of the broom closet about 4 years ago and promptly lost a bunch of friends because I didn't fully, I assumed that my friends they knew me and they were comfortable with me. And I didn't think that suddenly people that I'd known for 20 years would not want to talk to me because I've identified myself as a witch. So I understand that you have to, being out of the broom closet doesn't mean that I can go around telling everybody, particularly in my work. But I am not, if someone, and I have been asked by patients, are you Wiccan? Are you a witch? And I've always said yes, because that's the truth. I'm not going to lie to someone. But I'm also aware, and this is some of what people have spoken about the struggle, is that not everybody is able to shake the stigma that goes with witchcraft. And so how I handle it personally is I let people know that I'm spiritual, which is true, and that each person has a path that works best for them. And then I respect them and I uphold that, and I will always hold that inside. However they say, and I have had patients like pray with me and I'm like, okay. And then I pray to the goddess and don't say that out loud. So, yeah, I realize I've lived around the world and have benefited from the many countries that I've lived in. I've lived in India, I've lived in Japan, I've lived in Ireland. I'm first generation American. My mother is in Norway, and she remains in Norway. And currently I am a medical social worker in home help and hospice, where I utilize my formal education, but I also utilize my empathetic and intuitive skills. I do on a regular basis shock patients by saying, well, are you having trouble with your brother? Or like something that I just pick up because I believe in complete trust in oneself. And the more that you do, the more that it responds. So that's about me. And now we're going to talk about my great love, which is crystals. Am I going too fast, Alex? She disappeared.
I did not. No, you are perfect. I was trying to unmute myself.
So now you know what it's like for the rest of us trying to unmute ourselves. So the reason I called this a crystal capsule is because the way I was thinking about it was that I would do one overall view, and then I would go into one specific crystal. So there's lots of areas that will be part of these crystal capsules, from the energy of the crystal to the setting intentions with crystals to grounding. Well, that's separate. Today, I just want to bring up cleaning. I did not bring out the list of crystals that can and cannot be cleaned. I'll give you a couple that I know for a fact. There are 5 main ways to clean a crystal. And the first is to do with water. River, running water, purified water, tap water. I think in cleaning crystals, it is your mind that is assisting cleaning them. If you receive crystals, say you buy some online, and there are some actually really good places to buy online that'll send you actually pretty clean crystals, but you do need to clean them because they have been ripped from the earth. And the crystal itself can hold a bit of the trauma on the handling of it being taken from the earth. I think that crystals are, they know that they have, I believe that they have a consciousness, not like us, not in terms of talking back, although they can send messages. But they are, because of their connection of having been born from the earth and in the earth, that they need to be cleaned and healed, almost a bit of healing in and of itself. So water's the first way. There are quite a few crystals that, unless they are completely polished, cannot be put in water. So and then it is, they just can't. Like selenite, which is the easiest to remember, it rusts. I had it on my windowsill. I watered my plants. The water went over. I didn't see it. I pulled the selenite out, and it was all rusty and falling apart just from a bit of water from a plant. So if you have a beautiful piece of non-polished selenite, do not put it in water. It will start to fall apart. Any crystal that has talc, also, unless it's completely polished, shiny, shiny, shiny. And even then, like I have a couple of bracelets of selenite, and I won't wear them because for work, I have to wash my hands so often that I'm afraid of it rusting. And so water is a very easy and good way to clean. I don't use water because that way I don't have to think about if I need to use it or not. So smoke is another way to be able to clean your crystal. I love smoke. And so I had a stick of burning incense that I was going to run and get, but it's already done. And I was going to show you. So you have your crystal, and then you just put it in the smoke and you are cleaning it. So in your mind, you're holding that I'm releasing all the pain or any kind of difficulty that this crystal has. Sometimes you'll work with the crystal and it'll suddenly feel full because it's done what it can. And so you need to clean it at that point. And so then you move it under the smoke. if you're using cones, burn a couple of cones so that there's a good amount of smoke. If you're using charcoal, perfect. Usually you can make that nice and smoky, set your fire alarm off. And then like with the stick of, like if you have the long sticks, I would burn 2 sticks to make enough smoke to feel like it's cleaning and it's taking care of the crystal. That's one way that I clean the crystals. Burying your crystal in the earth is another way to clean them. I do not bury mine, because then you have to deal with trying to get them clean, physically clean. Like, so I don't, but it is an absolutely valid way. I've done it before, and it really, because you're putting it back in the earth, and the earth is then making it, it's making it whole again. Amina, did you have a question? Oh, sorry.
No, I didn't. I was just using emojis to react since I'm in the car.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to check.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, so burying it is a way that works well for some people. Obviously, sunlight and moonlight are both ways to be able to clean your crystals, particularly on a full moon. Do not drag them all outside, because there's dew, and dew can get on your crystals, which can jeopardize some of them. And so put them in the windowsill. You can put them in the sun, like if you have a Western, when you want some sunlight to clear it up, put it in the windowsill. Some crystals their color can fade. Like fluorite is a crystal that's color can fade if it's in the sun for too long. I do not see, if you're intentionally cleaning your crystals and you line them up in the windowsill for the day, and then you clean them and then you take them back, that's not going to hurt a fluorite crystal. But if you just leave, I have some beautiful big chunks of fluorite, and if you just leave it out, the color will start to fade a bit. Sound is one of the ways that I clean crystals. When I do readings, I have a singing bowl. My singing, this is the one in the house. There's the singing bowl for I use for readings is bigger. It's a Tibetan one. This one is just a standard. And what I do for cleaning crystals is I put, unless it's really big, I would put it in my singing bowl. And then, hang on, let me see if you can, I don't know if you guys can hear. So here's what it sounds like without the crystal in it. That's bullshit. Okay, that's not going to work. Anyway, there's a sound that comes that is, you ring it and it rings. And then you put your crystal in and it'll sound duller because there's something's in it. And then if you hit it a few times, you'll start to hear it get clearer. You'll start to hear it closer to what it was before you put something in it. And that's my trigger to know that whatever that crystal was holding at that time, whatever it processed at that time, then is now clean enough to move forward and to move on. I had a thought today about, so I'm not a singer. I am not a singer. I would not do this, but I do know that there's certain tones, like the E, like E, but I'm really off and flat, so just don't do that. But if you have a beautiful singing voice, you could absolutely use that to clean your crystals. I can't do that because I don't have a beautiful voice, but there's a pitch. You'll know when you hit it, you'll be like, it's an E pitch. You say E, and it's a higher, it's not high, but it's a higher. As soon as you hit it, you'll know that's it. And it'll clean a crystal as well. I tried it. even with my bad voice. And I could feel that it did some. I think if someone has a really great voice, that it would work perfectly. So yes, and then the last way, see, we've gone over 5 because, you know, I don't know how to count, is selenite. There are some stones that clean other stones and there are some stones that are cleaning. Now I'm going to show you my piece of selenite because first of all, I'm super proud of it. And this is what I use for cleaning my crystals. This is my piece of selenite. I don't even know how many pounds it is, but it's hurting. So when I want to clean a crystal, what I do is I just put it on it. Like with my bracelets that I wear every day, I have little sticks of selenite that I stick inside of them to clean them because they provided me service for that day. But this is how, can you see? No, it's not working. Can you guys see this? Is this impressive like it is to me? Just nod your heads. Yes, okay, because it's impressive. Anyway, that's what I use to clean all my crystals. Most often I'll use sound, like when I'm at the fairs, I'll use sound because I don't feel like lugging this. And selenite can be, you have to be a little bit careful with it. It can, it's very, there is a term for it, but I can't think of it. It's very frail, fragile kind of thing. And it can poke you and you can get blisters from the little pieces. So don't, like, if you have a raw piece of selenite, please don't rub your hand up and down it because you will end up with a splinter, which is a total bummer to try and get out. I speak from experience. And so that's what I was, wow, look at that. We're just at the half hour and I haven't even hit the crystal. So that's like every time I do one of these, I'm going to do sort of a, you know, there's carrying, there's storage, there's chemical makeup, there's color, there's shape, there's structure. There's a whole bunch of areas that I will go more in depth into each time. But this time I felt cleaning was the best way. I did not bring the list. Raw fluorite doesn't like water. Selenite doesn't like water. So is this going to be a new steady class we have? Yes, I'm going to try to do it every other week. Yes. Oh, I have to, oh, look, there's another chat. Hang on. I'm not sure how to do this. Okay. Yes, Tiffany, it will be an ongoing class. That is my, that's my hope. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be an ongoing class. Each time I have a class, I'm going to go more in depth into the things that apply to all crystals. Oh, Jackie. I'm probably going to have to do 11 because I have kids that come home I have a kid that comes home from his dad's house and then he is loud. And so it's hard. So probably going to be around 11. I hope that's okay with you, Jackie. I don't know where you're located because you might be in England or something and you're like, this is brutal. So I don't know. I'm hoping 11:11. I'm hoping that'll work. Is 12 works for me. I'm in Chicago. Isn't it 12 now for you? Okay. So I'm going to try for 11:11. You can come in at 1 minute late so you can do 12:12. Just kidding. Don't be late. Okay. And then before we start going into the one crystal that I chose today to work with, I want to bring up a thing that you will run into if you're truly into crystals, is that every single fucking person that has ever written about crystals writes something different. I'm sure if you've done any research that you see that, and it absolutely drives me crazy because I have a science kind of brain, and it's like, no, you guys should all be on the same page. Now, there's some standard ones that are very common, like amethyst for sobriety, rose quartz for love, but it is everybody has different scope, how they write it out, what they say. There's some similarities. One of the things that I do is that I look at the trends between the different resources and sources that I trust, and then I go from there. The most important thing is that whatever feeling a crystal gives to you, then just work with that. There is going to be one of the things that all crystals have is a sense of grounding because they come from the earth. So you can have a crystal like Apache tear, which is very light and doesn't feel, its grounding is not as deep as other ones. And heavier crystals, the grounding is faster, but all crystals have a grounding aspect. They come from the earth. Amber, I was thinking about this, of course, as soon as I wrote this down. I was like, well, amber. And you can absolutely feel the difference that amber does not have that same kind of grounding that other crystals do. And we'll just skip amber today. I'm going to give a few resources of people who I have found to be useful. They do not agree 100%, but they do seem to trend in agreement. So the first is the Book of Stones. It looks like this. It's written by Robert Simmons and Nastasia Ahsaian. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. They both add to each crystal. It's a little, how they write is a little dense, and that's okay, but it is just a little dense. And the print is really small, which that's just a personal pet peeve when someone does like a font 9 for a book. I think that means I'm getting older. So this is a really good, if you're really into crystals, this is a good investment. It's a little bit expensive, but it's a really good investment. I have 4 other people that, the one other thing about books on crystals is you will find a book on crystals that does not have an index. I do not know why some books on crystals do not have an index. It makes no sense. You have a book that's called Learning Basic Crystals, and there's no index. And that's weird to me, but it happens. All right, back to the people that can help. Judy Hall is one of my favorite people. Karen Fraser's good. Nicholas Pearson and Cassandra Easton. There is an app that is also very good, and it's called the Crystal Council. And it goes into depth. And the best thing is it has a pronunciation, so you can pronounce it right. Oh, is there lagging? I don't know if it's me. Is it me? If I talk slower, does that help? My internet is pretty good. My kid games on it all the time, so I'm not sure. I don't have a whole bunch of stuff open. If I talk slower, will that help? Okay, so I'm going to go over the names of the people who can, who I trust. Karen Frazier, Frazier. And then the next one, am I going too fast, too slow? Is this good? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Okay. Nicholas Pearson, Pearson, Nicholas Pearson. Cassandra Easton. Now, she has a cute little book. She's not huge in the field. She has a cute little book. And it's cool because it does it by color, which is really cool. So that if you have a stone that you're not sure what it is, but you have a color, you can look in this book and get, there's like 3 books that do this, but I like Cassandra's the best because she, again, uses font 9, but has pretty good pictures. I think you guys can see them. Pretty nice pictures in it. So if you have something that you're not sure what it is, then you can look under the color and then go from the combination of what it says and see if you kind of feel some of those things. Again, and I didn't say this, and I can't believe I didn't say this. Always trust yourself. If you pick up a stone and it feels like this is a mentally grounding stone and it's going to help you stay focused, and everybody says, oh, it's a really high stone and it activates your 3rd chakra. Trust yourself, because like perfume, each stone responds differently to each person. Yes, there may be some similarities in frequency, but each person's radiation hits the radiation of the stone and it's different. And then the app that I mentioned was the Crystal Council. It is a white background with a blue kind of bunch of crystals. They tend to run a little bit expensive, but they do not charge shipping. And their stones come very clean. I still clean them, but they come very clean. They do clean them before they send them to you. And they have the pronunciation. All of these blues. Oh God, Alex, now you're gonna make me do shit. It's okay, I will. So today I reached in my bag, my reading bag. This is my, when I do crystal readings, this is what I use. And I pulled out a stone called mookaite. It is a kind of jasper. And it, next time I will have pictures, okay? So that we won't be doing this sort of like, ooh, can you see it? Can you not see it? So it is a coffee and cream colored stone. It has some, you can have some red, it can have some white. It is a jasper. Every jasper has a, you know, kind of a framework. But this one is a particularly earthy jasper. Yes, Mookaite, mookaite. I checked the pronunciation this morning to make sure I was saying it right. So it is also sometimes called mook, M-O-O-K. Now, there's some really cool things about this stone. Every single one that comes up, so I own, I don't know, 7 or 8 pieces because I'm a stone hoarder dragon. Every single, so I've got this one here as well. every single piece has a slightly different chemical makeup. So every single piece of mookaite is going to feel just a little bit different. I can feel as I'm holding the star, and it might be the shape of it, but it feels more energetic than the little round one that I'm holding over here. So it is because, and this is again, we'll go into color at a different time, but brown stones tend to be very, even more earthy, as a, not just grounding to the earth, but this really is like, if this was a smell, to me, it would smell like the earth smell after the rain, or like when you've turned up some soil, there's that wonderful, amazing connective smell of the planet that just is awesome. And so if that would be, and just so you guys know, I have I smell electrically. I have a super sensitive smell, so I will associate a lot of things to smell. That doesn't mean anything. It's just like we all have special abilities, and our job is to work on them and to improve them, and mine is to do with smell. So that's what it smells like to me. We all know that smell after the rain. I know that. And so that's what it feels like to me. Because of the brown and because of jasper in of itself, so it grounds all parts to the earth. It grounds your body, it grounds your mind, it grounds your soul spirit complex. In terms of it's obviously it's going to be more of a root and sacral area chakra alignment. However, it pulls everything together in alignment down through your feet and into the earth. And well, it's not a special quality, but it's the special quality that I think about it, is it helps you live in the moment. Its strength is that giving you the grounding. However, it's also about living in the moment. You know, the phrase with the roses, take the time to smell the roses. That's what this mook or mookite crystal does. Physically, it helps with blood pressure, and it helps, I really like it, obviously, but it helps with the aging process. You can make an elixir with the stone and then put it on your face, or you could use it if you have a face cream. You could put some, make an elixir, and then we can go into that at a different time with crystals. But you could take your face cream that you use, Pond's, sorry, that shows how old I am. But yeah, so it goes into, it helps with that. It helps with recall and memory. And again, that's staying in the moment so that you have that sort of like, you're able to pull things forward to that moment. And it is just it's just an earthy general heal all. Now, I believe that you can do anything with any crystal. If you need something specific and you power that crystal with that, then it will do what you ask it to do. But the biggest thing is that this is about, in terms of the body, it's blood pressure. It says one of the Book of Stones was talking about how it can be used to help wounds heal, and it can help with the aging process. It helps with it because of its earthiness. It can allow for flexibility, because the earth, you think about trees and all the things that are connected to the earth, that there's amount of flexibility and creativity, and it also has motivation. There are other stones, tiger's eye, carnelian, that are super motivators, but this has that sort of in the moment motivation moving forward. And yeah, so that's the Mookaite. We'll talk about shapes on another class. This one's a star, or a pentagram. And then this one's just a rock. The one I have in my bra is just a little rock. Oh, I was going to show you. So I have one that is not rough, but it's rough polish, which means the edges are off, but it's not shiny. And that's what this one, can you see that, guys? So that's what that one looks like. See how it's not like all glossy. And there's some of the polish still left in there, because what happens is I polish my own stones and then I get antsy after about 12 weeks, which is how long it takes to polish stones, and I pull them out before they're shiny. Because that's this one. This one is a fully polished one that I did as well. And then this one I bought. And so there's my spiel, nice and fast run down. I love tumbles. I know that there's people who live for raw. I really prefer tumbles. It works better for me. It's a bit of a softer energy. Yes. Do I need to unmute you or something?
No, I just wanted to chime in. I wanted to be respectful.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So I have a question that's kind of unrelated. Well, no, it's related, but it's unrelated at the same time. It was actually kind of interesting. So this morning, I was leaving my hotel and I misplaced I forgot my tiger's eye there, but I went into my aunt's room and she had somebody else had left a whole nother crystal there. So I guess my question is kind of like a, is there a way that my energy is still like on the crystal that I left? And could that be kind of like a way for the crystals to just like call themselves to me sort of thing? Like,
so when you lose a crystal, when you misplace a crystal, if a crystal breaks, it's got a new journey. So I would say that crystal, unless they call you and say, look, you left a crystal, I would say that there's somebody who needs that crystal more than you do. And I think that if a crystal breaks, like if it all of a sudden breaks and falls apart, it's done its work and then you bury it, because they can get used up. But I'm a firm believer of, if you misplace a crystal or if you drop it, like I wear leggings and I have my leggings are always full of crystals. And so then sometimes I'll pull one crystal out and then another one will fall out and fall on the ground. And then I won't know till I get home. And I always believe that there's someone else who needed that garnet or who needed it more than you. Now, you said to me, what crystal did you find? What crystal did you get?
I honestly have no idea. It was interesting. It was a little bracelet that it had little crystal skulls sort of thing.
Okay. Black?
No, it was kind of like
black?
A muted brown.
A muted brown?
Yes. I'll show you a picture of it.
Yeah.
I didn't put it on or anything because I always believe you got to cleanse your crystal, before you put it on. But
absolutely.
But I'll definitely show you a picture.
Someone, just for the record, if someone gives you unknown caller. Oh, wow. Someone from Ireland is calling me. I used to live there, so I can't answer it though. Yeah. If someone gives you a bracelet, put it on. Like, just out of respect for that person, so they feel that you received it. And then when you get home, then clean it. or clean it as you're putting it on. Just say, I'm going to leave you on for today. When we get home, I'll clean you. I give bracelets away. If somebody needs something, or if I suddenly feel like, oh, I've got to give this someone, then I give it away, because I can get another one. I can find another one. I might have another one. So let's see. I want to see. I'm excited. And then of course I'm going to look at it and be like, I have no idea what that is. It's very weird. I know you guys need to be muted just because it gets really noisy, but I gotta say, it's a little weird telling my bad jokes and not being able to see that anybody's laughing. So just thought I'd let you guys know. I'm like, oh my God, this is a little strange. But I want to see what it is to see if we can figure it out. And it might be exactly what you need.
Right. And I'll turn my camera on here in a second so I can show you. It's in my bag. I got to dig it out.
Okay, cool. Yay. And I have a basket that's this thick with crystals that I'm not sure about. And so what's happened, which I think is the coolest thing, is that a few months ago, or I guess like 6 months ago, I went through it and I knew all these new crystals. I'm like, oh, I know that what this is. I know that this is actually ocean jasper. I know that this is blah, 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 blah. And it was super exciting. And then it was just this morning when I was looking for my box of Mook, then I looked in it and I was like, oh God, I know what a couple more of these are. So I'm super, as you learn about crystals, you'll be able, it's like that. You'll get a basket and you'll be like, I have no idea what the hell these are. And then as you go along, you'll be, in my Mook was a piece of aventurine. And it looks exactly like, oh my God, I can't believe I put it away. So here's the Mook. There's the Mook. Here's the aventurine. Looks pretty close. Put them together. And then this morning when I was going through it, the aventurine has you can see it's not as, like, jasper is opaque and this is slightly translucent. So you can see the little tiny crystal structures in it, which is not jasper. And so I was like, oh, aventurine, and I'll put her in that box. Oh yes, and by the way, I do names my crystal. Let's see.
Okay. So I actually, looking at it now, it definitely
Hi.
can tell that it's hi. let me switch my camera around, figure out how to do that.
You're like,
there we go. So looking at it now, I can definitely tell that it's wood, but I'm not really sure what.
Okay, can you pull back a little bit? Okay. It could be petrified wood. It could be petrified wood.
What is?
How heavy is it? Does it feel heavy?
It's
actually, it looks pretty light.
Yeah, it's pretty light. It is.
It may be a dark wood or a petrified. Petrified woods can be kind of heavy, so I don't know. Off the top of my head, like a straight brown with no, like, other, like without inclusions or without any kind of other stripes. I'm thinking that it may be a kind of wood.
Yeah, I'm kind of able to see that it's wood now, but it's just, I guess I'm just kind of wondering the energy on it, because I did lose another crystal in finding this.
Well, I would treat it just like any crystal. What I would do is when you get home, put it on a, sing. If you're a singer, then sing it clean. If you have a singing bowl, put it in there, bang around, smoke, whatever works for you. because I don't know for sure what the crystal is, I wouldn't put it in water because we don't know. And then I would wear it and see, it must be something that you need. Now, wood, is the very, very first stage of crystals. And like what that says to me is that it might be that very first stage is, I don't know, like you might need to go back to the beginning of something. So in wearing that, that's going to help you get back to that.
You said that it leads to like the beginning of something?
Yeah, because wood is the beginning of crystal. Wood is part of how crystals are made. It's one of the frequencies that goes into the earth and then becomes stone. And so this, if it is wood, then I would say it's telling you to go back to the beginning of something.
That makes a lot of sense. It's interesting too. I've been getting a lot of ones and angels that are saying like beginning times, and I'm about to start a bunch of stuff. So
no, that's perfect. Then that'll help you along the way. Because that's what it's, I mean, I suppose in a way you can put intention in your keys. You can put your intention into any being. When I get dressed in the morning, I wear scarves because I have a big piece of metal in my neck, and if wind hits it, I get a migraine. So I always wear scarves, but I think about the scarves that I'm going to wear for the day, the frequency for today. I wear these little wraps or kimonos or whatever the hell they're called these days. And I think about it. I wear all these bracelets and I think about what each one carries, a little bit of it, and that must be what I need. So you got that bracelet, you lost one thing, and you got something in balance, and it might be what you need. That's what I would say. Oh, look, it's been an hour. So much for at first, honestly, I told Alex, I was like, yeah, we'll just do 15 minutes. Ha, ha, ha. So it's been an hour. Okay, so let's do questions. Any other questions? You can type them because I'm beginning to learn how to figure that out. You can talk to me. Talk to me. So someone said, when you're passionate about something, you always go overtime. Honey, I go overtime all the time. even if I'm not passionate about it. Oh, you want to talk about farm equipment? Let's talk about farm equipment. You got me 20 minutes. I can do at least so. But yes, I can go on and on and on about crystals. It is my passion. It is my love. It sustains me and has helped me grow and helps me. It fortifies me, and I continue learning every day. I learn a little bit more, and the more I learn, then the more I can pick up different the more I learn, the more in depth each crystal then gives to me. It provides to me. So when you first start, and obviously if you don't own any crystals, start with the big three, which is clear, rose quartz, and amethyst. And you can put citrine in there too. Be careful with citrine because it can be, real citrine is expensive. If you're looking at something that's like, oh, this is a citrine bracelet, it's $12. It's not real citrine. It will carry a muted form of citrine frequency, but it is not real. It's amethyst that's been heated to look like citrine. And then, yeah, so anything else? Alex, do you have any comments, questions, things that I missed that I...
You did an amazing job. I'm so happy that you chose to teach this class. I know you were nervous and you did so amazing.
Yeah, so much for the half an hour. I think you already knew that though.
I did. Don't even worry.
Hey, by the way. So, Jackie, at good prices.
So we actually do have, by the way, just
yes, Karina. Oh my God. Yes.
So Katrina, one of the students,
sorry.
That's okay. One of the students at this academy, Katrina, actually sells crystals, and her prices are amazing.
Yeah, I actually had to tell her, I was like, this is not expensive enough. You have to up the price. She had some kunzite, which is a fairly rare, and she had it for like $1, and I was like, no, don't do that. It's $3 minimum because they're little, but so absolutely, you're right.
Yes, and she gets all of her crystals from amazing sellers, and all of her crystals are so awesome, and they're extremely cheap. She's not doing this to make money. She's doing it because she loves crystals. And so, you can she's in the Facebook group. She's also in the messenger chat. Yeah. So just feel free to tag her, message her.
Hang on, I've got her card, so I can hang on a second.
Yeah, her business is called the Crystal Lotus Boutique. So you can also just go to her page on Facebook. It's just called the Crystal Lotus Boutique, or go to her website. You can order everything online. It's all on her website, and you can just order it all online, and it's awesome.
Yeah, and she's very good prices.
Yeah.
And so I've totally spaced about her. Right now I'm banned from buying crystals. So I'm not buying crystals right now. But the Crystal Council is expensive. It's all ethically sourced. The owner, Vinny, knows every single person where he's getting the mines that he's getting his crystals from. So but the best thing about them, again, is that it gives you incredible information and how to pronounce it, which to me is a godsend. So you can buy them from Katrina, and then look them up on the Crystal Council. But it's an app, so you can look up anything, and it has lots and lots of things. Even if they don't have them for sale, it has lots and lots of definitions. That app is for that. Sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. Thank you. Here's a link, by the way, I put in the chat to Katrina's website so that you can look around at her website and all of her products. Of course.
Yeah. No, because I'm banned from buying crystals, personal imposition, because I have a crystal problem. My kids are like, you spend all your money on crystals. I'm like, this is your inheritance. You better start learning about them, because some of these are worth a lot of money. So they haven't yet. One other thing that I meant to talk about was weight. Always feel the weight of a crystal. The heavier the crystal, the stronger the grounding, like it'll bring you down to earth. Lighter crystals can keep you still a bit. If you run a bit heady, I run a bit heady and dingy up here. And so for me, I need crystals that'll like bring me down. And, here's one, and I'm going to say it wrong. It's called Scala Blendala. And it is it's as heavy as pyrite. And it is an amazing stone. And so, but it's super heavy. So those heavy stones can just ground you. I have to ask, name you prefer to go by, Birth or Magical? I prefer to go by Mystic, but I will respond to Tanya because that's my given name. I don't think I can change my Zoom name because I do Zoom meetings with work. And I'm pretty sure Mystic is not going to work. It's not going to fly far at work. They probably wouldn't be freaked out. They did hire me with purple hair, which is still purple. You can't see it, but it's fluffy purple hair. Are there different stones for different elements that help you with your element training? Absolutely. There are different stones. Every stone has an affiliation to an element. It has an affiliation to a astrological sign. It has an affiliation to, where stones, you can have Amazonite. Amazonite can come from Brazil or it can come from Madagascar, and it feels a little bit differently. So absolutely. The Crystal Council gives the elements. The Book of Stones gives elements as well. Most reference books will give you elements. Let me check with Cassandra. No, she gives chakras and colors. She doesn't give the elements. And if you ever have any questions, you can just shoot me a quick message and I will get it, and I will either let you know what I know or do some research and learn some more stuff. I absolutely have no, I don't have any. So going back about this different elements, there are different elements. However, all crystals are part of the earth element, if that makes sense. You can have sunstone, which obviously is going to have is going to be part of a fire element, but it's still going to be within the realm of earth. Just like water, if you make an elixir with something, it's going to change its properties, and it's going to be more affiliated with fire or with air, but it still remains part of the water element field. As far as I see it, I don't know. I'm not an authority on that. That's just how I see it. Any incense is going to be part of the air element. However, the smell of it then is going to give it's another layer to the element. Does that make sense, Jackie? Okay, cool. Okay, so any other questions? We good? You are more than welcome. Crystals work slowly sometimes, and so you might not get the question until way later. I also know that I went about 100 zillion miles an hour. And so hopefully the next one, which should be in about 2 weeks, unless something comes up, but it should be in about 2 weeks. And then we will go over another, we'll probably talk about cleaning just a little bit for people who might not have been there, but then we'll go into, I think I'm going to look into intentions, like putting intentions into crystals. So, all right, Alex, what do I do?
Okay.
I say goodbye. Oh, say goodbye. Yeah. Bye, everybody. Love you. Thank you so much for coming and being a part of this. And I'm super happy. I feel like it went pretty good, and I'm super happy. So thank you all so much for coming and spending the hour and 8 minutes with me.
Thank you so much, Tanya.
Okay, what do I do?
Sorry. You're good. I'll end the session, or I guess just click the leave button. Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, guys. Talk to you soon.